We're gonna have a good time.
Molly, what's going on? Oh shit, relax.
A 24-year-old American is facing over 35 years in prison across 3 countries for streaming content that went catastrophically wrong. From Arizona college student to international fugitive, how Johnny Somali's quest for viral fame became a nightmare spanning continents, leaving him broke, banned, and begging online. Before we dive in, think about this. At what point does pushing boundaries for content cross from entertainment into genuine criminality? Keep that question in mind as we uncover this story.
I didn't mean to.
No.
You don't need the money. You don't do like this.
Yeah, I didn't mean to destroy property.
We don't do.
What drives someone to willingly become the most hated person in multiple countries? Ramzi Khalid Ismail, better known as Johnny Somali, didn't start as an international criminal. He began as just another Arizona college student looking for internet fame. His transformation into a nuisance streamer represents a calculated decision to monetize outrage, turning public disruption into profit through live donations and viewer engagement. The strategy seems simple: be as offensive as possible, film the reactions, and watch the money roll in. This blueprint would eventually destroy his life completely. The warning signs appeared long before international incidents made headlines.
Your shirts. Delivery.
Enjoy your time.
I gotta deliver.
Johnny's early streaming career in America featured deliberate harassment of retail workers, racist provocations in public spaces, and confrontations designed purely for shock value. His content followed a disturbing pattern: target vulnerable people, escalate situations until they exploded, then play victim when consequences arrived. Viewers rewarded this behavior with donations and attention, creating a feedback loop that pushed him toward increasingly dangerous territory. Success bred recklessness, and recklessness bred catastrophe.
Don't grab nothing. Oh.
By 2023, Johnny had exhausted his domestic options and set his sights on Japan, a country known for its strict social norms and cultural respect. What happened next would shock even his most dedicated viewers. During a live stream on Tokyo's subway system, Johnny made explicit threats about nuclear attacks while making racist comments toward Japanese passengers. The authorities responded swiftly, arresting him for obstruction of business and public disturbance. His defense? It was just content for his audience. Japanese society disagreed entirely. The arrest marked Johnny's first taste of international consequences, but the legal system's response revealed something crucial about his methods. Japanese prosecutors didn't treat his actions as harmless pranks or misguided entertainment. They recognized a pattern of calculated harassment designed to exploit cultural differences for profit. After weeks in detention, Johnny faced a choice: accept deportation and a permanent ban from Japan, or fight the charges and risk years in prison. He chose deportation, thinking he'd escaped consequences. He was catastrophically wrong. Fresh from his Japanese deportation, Johnny decided Israel would be his next target, arriving in April 2024 with the same disruptive playbook that had served him so well online. His first major incident involved inappropriate behavior toward a female police officer.
Oh, you a bad. I swear to God. You a bad. Take you to dinner. I swear to God.
Escalating to physical contact that resulted in immediate arrest.
Okay.
Israeli authorities, already dealing with heightened security concerns, showed zero tolerance for foreign provocateurs using their country as content material. The arrest sent shockwaves through his remaining fan base, who began questioning his judgment. The situation deteriorated rapidly when Johnny targeted one of Judaism's holiest sites, the Western Wall. His livestream featured offensive imagery and deliberate disrespect toward religious practices, triggering confrontations with locals who viewed his actions as sacrilege rather than entertainment. Multiple incidents with Israeli citizens led to additional charges, creating a legal nightmare that would follow him across borders. Each arrest revealed the same pattern: escalate for content, face real consequences, then flee to the next country. September 2024 brought Johnny to South Korea, where his reputation had preceded him, but local authorities hadn't yet banned his entry. Within days of arrival, he committed what many consider his most offensive act yet: kissing and making inappropriate gestures toward a statue commemorating Korean comfort women, victims of wartime sexual slavery. The incident, live-streamed to his audience, triggered immediate outrage from Korean society and government officials. This wasn't just disrespectful content anymore. This was desecration. The Comfort Women statue incident represented a point of no return for Johnny's international career. Korean prosecutors didn't view his actions as cultural misunderstanding or entertainment gone wrong. They recognized deliberate exploitation of historical trauma for profit. The charges came swiftly: obstruction of business, harassment, and violations of laws protecting monuments commemorating historical victims. Unlike previous countries, South Korea decided to make an example of foreign streamers who monetized cultural disrespect. The legal trap was closing. If you're wondering how far this rabbit hole goes, make sure to subscribe, because we're covering more shocking streamer stories that'll blow your mind. And some end even worse than Johnny's situation. The 7-Eleven incident that followed seemed minor compared to the Comfort Women controversy, but it demonstrated how Johnny's behavior had become completely unhinged from social reality. Harassment of store employees, disruption of business operations, and racist comments toward customers, all streamed live to an audience that was beginning to turn against him. What started as entertainment had devolved into genuine criminal behavior with real victims and documented evidence. Korean authorities added these charges to his growing list of legal problems. Everything culminated when Johnny encountered a group that wouldn't tolerate his provocations: U.S. Navy personnel stationed in South Korea. The confrontation, captured on multiple camera angles, showed Johnny receiving what many viewers called instant karma in the form of a public beating. The footage went viral, but not in the way Johnny intended. Instead of generating sympathy, it revealed how his actions had consequences beyond legal systems. Real people were fighting back. By early 2025, Johnny faced 7 separate criminal charges in South Korea, with potential sentences totaling over 35 years in prison. The legal avalanche included obstruction of business, harassment of multiple individuals, violations of monument protection laws, and additional charges stemming from his continued streaming activities while on bail. Each charge carried serious penalties, and Korean prosecutors made clear they intended to pursue maximum sentences. The content creator had become a criminal defendant. South Korean authorities implemented a travel ban, trapping Johnny in the country while his legal proceedings continued. Unlike his escapes from Japan and Israel, deportation was no longer an option. He would face trial and potential imprisonment regardless of the outcome. The realization that his content creation career had led to genuine legal jeopardy triggered a psychological breakdown visible in his increasingly desperate live streams. The confident provocateur had become a frightened defendant. March 2025 brought Johnny's first guilty pleas, as the weight of evidence made denial impossible. Facing overwhelming documentation of his crimes, including his own live-streamed footage, he accepted responsibility for multiple charges in exchange for potentially reduced sentences. The guilty pleas marked the end of his claims that everything was just entertainment. Korean courts had officially recognized his actions as criminal behavior, with real victims and serious consequences. April 2025 delivered another devastating blow when new charges emerged involving harassment of minors. The allegations suggested Johnny's boundary-pushing content had extended to inappropriate interactions with underage individuals, adding potential child-related crimes to his already extensive legal troubles. These charges carry particularly severe penalties in South Korea and could result in additional years behind bars. The content creator's nightmare continued, expanding. Currently stranded in South Korea with mounting legal bills and no income source, Johnny has resorted to begging his remaining viewers for money through increasingly desperate live streams. The confident provocateur who once boasted about making thousands from outrageous content now pleads for donations to pay basic living expenses and legal fees. His transformation from internet celebrity to international criminal serves as a cautionary tale about the true cost of monetizing outrage and cultural exploitation. The Johnny Somali phenomenon has inspired copycat streamers who believe they can replicate his success without facing consequences. These imitators fail to recognize that Johnny's story isn't about successful content creation. It's about how pursuing viral fame through harm to others inevitably leads to self-destruction. Multiple countries have now implemented stricter penalties for foreign content creators who exploit local cultures for profit, partly in response to cases like Johnny's. The true cost of Johnny Somali's content strategy extends far beyond his personal legal troubles. His actions damage relationships between countries, reinforce negative stereotypes about American tourists, and cause genuine harm to the communities he targeted for content. Victims of his harassment suffered real psychological damage, historical sites were desecrated, and cultural tensions were unnecessarily inflamed. The pursuit of viral content created lasting damage that extends far beyond entertainment. From college student to international criminal, Johnny Somali's journey shows how chasing viral fame can destroy everything. The line between entertainment and criminality isn't blurry when your content deliberately harms others and exploits cultural differences for profit. His story serves as a warning about the true price of outrage content and the inevitable consequences of treating real people's pain as entertainment material. Coming up next, we're exploring another streamer whose controversy led to even more shocking consequences. And you won't believe how it ends. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only, not professional legal advice. Consult qualified experts for serious matters.